Today on What's Next.
Love, prayers, and so many people caring really got me through.
All I wanted was to find one person that I could look up to that had made it.
It's a second family. It's a family you choose.
I'm growing bolder, baby.
Welcome to What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton, and you know, here at Growing Bolder, we don't ignore the challenges of aging. We celebrate the opportunities, and we share the strategies for navigating the difficulties. And these are strategies that we learn from the ordinary men and women that we feature every day. And one of the most powerful life-enhancing strategies is simply to develop community. I get by with a little help from my friends. Lennon and McCartney famously penned and performed, and you know it's true, life is better together. So let's kumbaya, my friends. And speaking of my friends, say hello to the What's Next crew. We've got Amy Sweezy, Bill Schaefer, and Cecily Wilson, all key members of the GB tribe, in addition to participating in their own other like-minded communities. And Cess, I know you understand the power of the posse, both in good times and bad, as well as anybody.
Yes, I mean, it's so life-saving to have that in good times and bad. I mean, I don't think we can do anything without having that community.
It is amazing what we can do when we get together, and you know, I think Dick Vitale is a pretty good example of that. Dickie V is a Hall of Fame broadcaster. He's beloved by millions, and for over 4 decades, he's connected with college basketball fans through his infectious love of the game. Outside of basketball, I think it's fair to say that his most burning passion has been raising funds, and we're talking about over $55 million to help fight pediatric cancer. It's his never-ending tribute to his late friend and broadcast partner, Jim Valvano. And this year, Dickie V's tie to the cancer community became even more personal than ever, and it was his turn to receive the support and encouragement that he's delivered for so many years to others.
It's been tough. It's been a tough year, but I've had so much support. The love I've received from so many fans, the prayers, my family, my wife's such a caregiver, and my daughters really got me through some tough times.
It all began in late 2021 with multiple surgeries for melanoma.
Oh my God, what I looked like after. You take a look of a Tyson and a Mayweather together pounding on you. I mean, my face was, I went through 7 procedures, 7, to get this to where it's at today. All right, that was one. Then another people don't realize I had bile duct problems. At first they diagnosed and they thought it was bile duct cancer, which is a very tough cancer to deal with. And fortunately for me, after scans, they determined that it wasn't bile duct, but it was lymphoma, which is treatable, which is curable. I never thought that I would be jubilant hearing I have lymphoma, but I did.
He didn't have bile duct cancer, but he did have bile duct blockage, which required several surgeries, all while undergoing chemotherapy for lymphoma, his second cancer diagnosis in less than 6 months.
Then what really crushed me, probably more than anything, I lost my voice. I couldn't speak.
He had a growth on his vocal cords that could become cancerous if left untreated. In between bile duct surgeries and multiple rounds of chemotherapy, he had 2 surgeries on his vocal cords and was unable to speak a word for 4 months.
It was great for my wife. She loved every moment. She finally got a chance to speak.
As his throat was healing, doctors ordered a comprehensive set of scans looking for any signs of cancer.
They go through your entire body, and they came out and they said, "Dick, you're cancer-free." And I burst out in tears, to be honest with you, because it's been tough. I respect everyone out there that has to ever go through dealing with, for example, the scans, the blood work, the chemotherapy, 6 months of chemo, and people have my Twitter handle at Dickie V, and I'm getting all these messages and prayers. My God, what a lift that was, especially at that moment when you're laying there and you're 83 years old, thoughts are going through your head that are not very pleasant thoughts at times. But really, through it all, I think love, prayers, and so many people caring really got me through.
How has your past year changed your thoughts about the rest of your life and what still needs to be done?
Try to make every day count, every moment count to the best of my ability. Try to use every day. Try to enjoy it as much as I can, because it can be taken away from you so quickly.
Boy, you know, it's something we hear all the time. It's something we know, but you know, most of us just can't make ourselves understand the value of each and every moment. And as we mentioned, Dick is now in his mid-80s, more aware than ever that every day is not just a blessing to be grateful for, it is an opportunity to make a difference in the lives of others, and he, for one, is not about to waste it. So gang, what about you? What have hard times taught you about yourself, or maybe the importance of having others around you? Amy?
You know, I think I have realized how important it is for me personally to focus on gratitude. It is so easy to focus on the bad stuff that's happening, and then you just kind of send yourself down in this downward spiral of woe is me, and you just think about all the negatives. But if you can really take yourself out of that and think, okay, what do I have to be thankful for? Like Dickie V said, you know, now I can't believe I'm thankful that I have lymphoma, but he found the positive in that, and, you know, practiced gratitude.
Amen. Bill?
Yeah, you know, Mark, I keep thinking of mistakes I've made in the past that involve people that we know when they get a diagnosis or have something earth-shaking happen, an accident, an injury. You kind of you almost are afraid to make contact. You don't know what to say. Do I bring it up? You know, do I call all the time? Do they want to rest? And Dickie V and others, they all make the point that whenever somebody takes the time to reach out, makes you forget about your fight for a moment, or it gives you encouragement through your fight. You know, we all, you just don't want to be isolated, and people don't hesitate to reach out and try to make a difference with someone you care about. They'll let you know if it's too much, but we need each other to push through.
Absolutely, 100% experiencing 2 strokes and losing my ability to speak temporarily. I really value the gratitude. And so when I think about, oh, I had these strokes, but it made me more powerful, more resilient. I really didn't know how strong I was until things started to fall apart. And so the gratitude helps and makes you think about what is important right now. And then having the people around me gave me more strength. They pushed me through, they encouraged me, they made me laugh. And yes, it took my mind off of what I was going through at that moment.
One of my hashtags that I use is No Widow Left Behind.
Welcome back to Growing Boulders. What's next? I'm Bill Schaefer. Man, it sure doesn't take long to figure out that life isn't always easy, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you. Challenges, obstacles, the surprises that life has for us all. It's a lot. It's why it's so important to have people around us, family, friends. Sometimes it's a community, a group of strangers, but ones who've been through what we're going through. Those are the ones that can really help the most. Carolyn Moor was celebrating her anniversary when her car was hit head on. Her husband died. In an instant, she was a widow, alone, with 2 little kids at home. And it took her years just to find a way forward. And you know what she did? She made a vow that no one would ever have to go through that alone by founding the Modern Widows Club.
The experience that was given to me was extremely harsh. The way my husband died, the way I didn't have any family, the way I lost our business that we built, raising 2 small children. That the experience of isolation and depression from going from a very confident, extremely joyful woman to the complete opposite, I didn't realize that one life experience could destroy what I had built up to age 37. And I remember clearly thinking, there's something wrong about this. And why aren't there more people coming to help me? And I think subconsciously made a commitment that when I was strong enough that I would come back and I would change that. and I would figure it out. And I am doing that and continuing to every day.
Can you talk about how, when you're going through something like that, you feel like you're the only one?
Absolutely.
And then what the reality is?
The story I always tell people about the isolation was, I remember very clearly laying in bed and realizing I'm alone here, crying in desperation. It's just lost, just feeling forgotten and invisible. In my bed, in my home, on my property, in my neighborhood, in this city, in this state, in this country, on this earth. And no one knows my pain. And all I wanted was to find one person that I could look up to that had made it. That's all I wanted. And it took me 10 years to find that. And I think the injustice of that, as a humanitarian, I just went, this is so wrong, you know, and how can we start making this right? And I just started walking down that path, and I'm making it right now. You know, one of my hashtags that I use is No Widow Left Behind. That's a beautiful concept to me. You know, I see what's possible for a widow's journey, and it's going to be starkly different than what actually I experienced.
You know, sometimes there's no one more capable of helping us through the trauma that we've experienced than others who have gone through it themselves. Carolyn Moor in the Modern Widows Club is helping countless women learn how to move forward. She's using her experience to make a difference. You know, we all have a lot more value to our family, to our friends and neighbors, and even strangers than we realize. We have the ability to reach out, to share, and to make a real strong difference. Think about that when you're planning your what's next.
Somebody asked me one time what my time was. I told them fun.
Welcome back to What's Next. I'm Amy Sweezy. Now, one of the growing Boulder keys to successful aging is staying socially engaged. Life really is better together. I mean, we're social animals, right? We're hardwired to engage with others, and research shows that relationships have a profound influence on both our mental and physical health, our mortality risk, and longevity. So one of the exciting parts of growing older is having more time to be with friends, to try new things, to enjoy activities that you love with other people. Now, if you're a runner in Central Florida, chances are that you know about a retail shop called Track Shack, and they have so many community races. Well, in 2022, we introduced the very first Growing Boulder division as part of the Track Shack race series. We're celebrating runners 40 and older, finding community and connection racing together. Here is our Mark Middleton with more.
It's another Track Shack Saturday, and thousands have come out not just to run, jog, walk, and roll. They've come to make an investment in their future. But this day is special because it took 4.5 decades to get here. It was 45 years ago that Track Shack opened its doors and started a community-wide health and well-being movement with the Track Shack Running Series.
I'm excited. We have such a great team out here. We're looking forward to the next 45 years.
This has been such a fun morning already. We just so appreciate everybody out here. They're coming up and saying thank you. It's like, wow, we thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Track Shack events are unique in that they include everyone of every age and every ability and disability, from world-class athletes to pure beginners and everyone in between.
Hey!
A 5K is 3.1 miles, and whether your time is under 15 minutes or over an hour,
Almost there! Woo!
every finish line represents a victory, a reason to celebrate the benefits of an active lifestyle.
What does it do for you?
Oh, it gives me energy. It's like my caffeine in the morning. I love it.
I just enjoy it. I do it every other day. So I've been doing it since I turned 40. This year I turned 68.
It just makes me feel better every day. Every day of my life I feel better because I can run.
I'm very grateful that I'm a part of like an inclusive community with Track Shack and them including me as an adaptive athlete.
Somebody asked me one time what my time was. I told them fun. I don't care how fast I go.
You meet so many wonderful people, friendships, and it becomes a family. That's what it is. It's a second family. It's a family you choose.
So now, all of the 40 and over age groups in the Track Shack running series are the Growing Boulder division powered by Florida Blue Medicare. Here's to 45 more life-transforming years. I think the one word that might best describe the running community, and I mean this nationwide and probably worldwide, is support. Everybody encourages one another. Everybody helps hold one another accountable. So guys, how about you? How have groups that you've been involved in or are involved with keep you moving forward? Cecily?
Yeah, it would have to be my Rotary community because I really love giving back. Service above self is important to me, and it always has been. And so it literally helps me move forward, but it also helps me to recognize the grateful moments that I have in my life because there's always someone a lot worse off than yourself.
Yeah, it is interesting. I think we're all involved in many different communities based on passions or struggles or opportunities or interest. And you know, folks, TikTok is an interesting place to find a whole lot of different communities. And we want to invite you to check out the Growing Boulder TikTok channel. But while we are on the topic of community, check this out, our bold social video of the week. This is Coach Balto. He's a PE teacher at an elementary school in Portland, Oregon. He wanted to get kids more active. He wanted to support students who didn't qualify for the bus and didn't have somebody who could drive them to school. So he started the bike bus. He got the city to approve the route, and one day a week, this is what happens. It's a fun, safe, and healthy way for the kids and many of their parents to get to school. In fact, over a third of the total school population now rides their bikes together. This TikTok video has over 2 million views. It sparked the creation of elementary school bike buses in other communities. So way to go, Coach Balto. Welcome back to What's Next. I'm Mark Middleton. Are you part of the over 1 million Growing Boulder followers on social media? You should be, because you can find inspirational and entertaining content on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, and yes, now even TikTok. Each week we post questions to get your take, like this one that I'll throw out now to our What's Next group. How does your community, your tribe, your posse help you navigate the ups and downs of life? Cecily, get us started.
Well, they help me by helping me to laugh, to think, to process, and stay centered. And even more so, my community sometimes just keeps it so real. And sometimes it's like, okay, 100% factual realness, so that I know that don't get beyond myself, just stay focused.
Tough love.
Yes.
It kind of occurs to me that maybe you guys agree with this. So there's two kinds of people and friends in our lives. The ones that are just nice, and they always say, tell you the right thing. And the other group that will not let you get away with anything, that tells it to you like it is, that calls you on the carpet. And aren't those the coolest, when you have people like that you can't get away with stuff, that really keep you on the straight and narrow?
Love them.
Yeah. Those are your accountability friends, right? I find myself with lots of different groups of friends, and so each group helps me with different things. Like I have work friends and we connect and talk about work, and then I have mom friends because they can connect and relate by having children, especially teenagers, right? There's spiritual friends and friends that you can talk to about politics, and other friends that you cannot. So I find that there are different topics for different groups of friends.
So how about you folks? What do you think? How does your community work for you, or maybe not? Visit Growing Boulder on Facebook and tell us your answer, because we'd love to hear from you. And I think we can all agree there is no question that group energy is powerful, it's palpable, but it has to be the right group and it has to be the right activity, because health-related attitudes, both good and bad, will spread like wildfire through social networks. In other words, if your friends don't inspire you, if they don't encourage you, if they don't support you, you got the wrong friends. The good news, there is an ever-increasing group of active, passionate, engaged older adults who talk about opportunity instead of simply disability. Find them, hang out with them as if your life depends upon it, because in a way it does. We'll see you next time.